media. Just a couple quick things problems that we had in the early going and how we got around them. First of all, Alicia Kahn trying to explain social media to a bunch of old former entrepreneurs from around the world. She went through television, newspapers, radio, and was trying to explain how social or media has evolved, and all of a sudden people raise their hand, I understand social media, that's like cable, right? So it's not really where we've advanced to. So we've taken those individuals and moved them into a separate department. They're working on our mail surveys moving forward.
Oh yeah, I mean he's the most on. He is Robin Williams on steroids and caffeine at the same time. I mean I was supposed to go there for 20 minutes and he's just got the most wild show. He's got 5 guys in the station. He has Al Roker Jr., so he's got a chunky guy sitting there, and they do amazing stuff. And you get asked questions like they're talking about. I don't know if I ought to go. That's a little 5 kids in the school, purple car, minister, and he says Mark Victor Hansen, tallest kid at in junior high school. What you do is you cut off your head and carry it to school in a paper bag, and it was the most embarrassing day of my life. Well, we're thankful for your being here. We're elated to hear what we just heard. We agree with everything that was said here, that video is the direction of the future. I think that what YouTube's got now is 200 billion videos. That is the correct number. I think we're at the front end of the video evolution of the planet. I think everybody on the planet wants to see what you've got. I think that G4 phones, which are coming, I'm going too fast, aren't I?
No, you're doing great.
Okay. I think that's going to change everybody's business. What Kelly said is I haven't got time to do anything but watch videos. When I saw Barbara ask you all those salient questions, thank you. Give her a round of applause for asking salient questions. We are going to offer you the video deal of all time. How many of you like the video deal of all times before tonight was over? Could I see you raise your hand? We're going to teach you how to monetize all your videos. Would that be good or would that be good? Great. For some of you who don't know the word monetize, that means you make it a money.
Look at these people, Mark. Look at this.
They're sitting at the edge of their chair. Interesting.
Young,
good looking.
Vibrant. Old and vibrant. Old and vibrant. That's not fair. Look at them, Mark. Wow.
Well, we're thankful for each and every one of you. I didn't know I was going to get about Asphalt Man Cop. Bob and I are on the great book tour to sell Cash in a Flash, which we have in the back. Which we've decided, personally, we're going to turn around the economy because of these 2 questions. How many of you think Washington will do it for you with their stimulus package? No. By the way, look, there's not one hand, honest to God. We haven't found anyone, and we talked to 40 million people last month, that will raise their hand to that. Number 2, and the first group we did was 7,500 people. We sold 2,800 books in Salt Lake, so we thought that was interesting. Number 2, how many of you believe Wall Street is going to do it for you?
And take care of you?
Yeah, because Wall Street, these guys bankrupt companies and take a $75 million bonus, and you go, my little teenage daughters would go, duh, Dad, for most of us, I think that's corrupt, immoral, and impeachable, as a matter of fact. So we think there's only one stimulus package. Who is our stimulus package, Bob? I can't remember. Come on, Bob, you remember this one. This is a hard one. This is a hard one.
Me.
Everyone touch yourself, say me. Me. Shake your neighbor's shoulders and say thee.
Thee.
There's only one stimulus package. Take your 2 fingers and touch yourself. On it.
This guy.
And so what we're going to do, oh look, he's right. You want to give us some money, we're taking it.
To answer your question about whether you should be on video, of course you should be on video. Screw that nobody is not good on video, because you're going to attract the people who you attract. And they'll like you a lot. You should even ask that question. Get on. Go for it, as fast as you can.
And one of the companies I'm deep into, and you want to go look at it, is called You Publish. We've got 12 new patents coming out. By the way, when you're doing patents, our own wonderful government is as screwed up as our state of California, where we're firing half the teachers and half the principals, and the Terminator called us and said, I want you to teach all the teachers and principals and students to be entrepreneurs. And I said, boy, anyhow, but the patent office is backed up 12 years, and the only way to get out of a depression, and I was just with Harry Dent, the guy from the economist demographer from Harvard, who says we are in a depression. We've got 37 million unemployed. If your friends are unemployed, it's a recession. If you're unemployed, it's a depression. There's only one way to get out of it, and that's innovation. And 3 innovations got us out in 1898, 1906. We had 14 million cars sold by Henry Ford only because Rockefeller and Henry Emerson Flagler started, they figured out how to break oil, they called it. Today we call it refining. Third guy that turned it on was 2 little brothers from not far from here. They had a little bicycle company, and they flew 14 feet at a place called Kitty Hawk and got people inspired again. Then the last depression, 29 to 39, we had the TV, we had the computer, and the jet plane. This one, Bob and I think, and by the way, before we tell you, what do you think is going to get us out of this one? Sir, quick.
Well, I think what you're talking about is what people are now finding, it's a lot easier, cheaper, and faster to go into business for yourself if you know how. So innovation, the barrier between you having an idea and making money off it, a lot less investment, a lot less time necessary.
Give this man a round of applause. He's hit it exactly right. There's no lag time because we have the internet. The internet is in its virginal state. I mean, we went from radio to TV to cable. The internet has got pimples. It's still a virgin. It's 15 years old at the level of utility. I'm talking about, in 1969, it was invented by the guy who bought Chicken Soup for the Soul, right? At Berkeley, he's a PhD, JD. But it was born at the level of Al Gore putting his imprimatur on it and saying, hey, everybody, this is the future. And even Bill Gates screwed up the first 4 years, and one day comes into Microsoft and says, hey, everybody, I was wrong. I thought the internet wasn't it. Everyone take a right. 19,000 of you figure out how to make money on the internet. And it's, that's you.
Oh, that's me.
It is, yeah, see, they want to call him and complain about me.
Is that what it is?
It's your wife?
No.
So, the internet is going to be one. The next one, I think, is alternative energy. Anybody else? And we're deep into that business, so there's some really cool things that are going to happen, and who's going to do the innovations? Everyone tries to say, we are.
We are.
Because if you're expecting the government and Wall Street to do it, it ain't going to happen, folks. So, you and I are it, and this is it. Social networking, social media is
You're doing the right thing. You're on the cutting edge of something big, huge. You're coming out tonight. You could be home watching reruns of Three's Company or something right now, but you're here. You came out this evening. You're rubbing shoulders with each other. You're doing the networking thing.
You got to circulate. Let me do the line from Kevin Robert. He did Southern accent when he was alive. You got to circulate to percolate. You got to circulate to percolate. You got to make contacts to get contracts. You got to multiply your exposure. And you can do it online, but it's all important to do it physically and really meet the people and get the deal done.
How many of you have read a copy of Chicken Soup for the Soul? How many of you have a copy in your house right now? Okay, this is the guy who brainstormed that idea, came up with that idea. Brilliant idea. The all-time best-selling nonfiction author of a series of books in history is right now in front of you. How many of you want to write your own book? Let me try that one more time. I need every single hand to go up. How many of you want to write your own book?
Yeah.
Some of you have already written it. Congratulations. It's going to be one of the ways in which you're going to earn your fortune. How many of you have read The 1 Minute Millionaire that Mark and I wrote together? Some of you have. Cracking the Millionaire Code, some of you might have. Brand new one, the sequel to The 1 Minute Millionaire is Cash in a Flash, is the book we're going to talk about here this evening. How many of you want to make cash in a flash?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, what is cash and what is a flash? I guess how much you want and when do you want it, right? I want you to write down right now how much you want. Write down on a blank piece of paper right now
For
how
the
much
year?
you want.
For right now, for the year, for the week.
And when do you want it? It's your goal. So if you could earn a chunk of cash, how much would it be, and in what period of time?
Yeah, the Old Testament says, write a thing, make it clear, it shall be established on you, meaning definite certainty. So the New Testament says, pray as though you've already got it and you'll have it. I can do the exact line, but that's close enough. So write it down. Got it all? Everyone's got it? Hands up.
How many of you...
Wait. We're going to do what we teach. Now add a 0 to it.
Add a 0 to it.
Yeah, because here's the deal. It's all consciousness. It's all awareness. It's all thinking. There's no lack of money. There's no lack of time, energy, people, resources, food, any of that. There's only a lack of awareness. That's why the internet's critical, because used appropriately, it can give us that awareness.
Back to the question of how fast do you want it? How many of you wrote down a date that was longer than the 1st of January, after the 1st of January this next year? It was into the 1st of January, okay? Good. Any of you write a date that was further out than 2010? Okay. All right, so and how many of you wrote down a date that was between now and the 1st of January? See, raise your hands on that. So about half of you said you want to make a chunk of cash or a stream of cash sometime between now and the end of the year, right? And let's talk about the actual number you wrote down before you put a zero on it, okay? Everybody raise your hands. Raise your hands right high. Everybody raise your right hand. Not both hands. Everybody raise your right hand. And leave your hand up until I say your number. Okay? So if it was $1,000 or less that you wrote down, you can lower your hand. $2,000. If it was less than that, you can lower your hand. $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000, $150,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, $900,000, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, $5 million, $6 million, $7 million, $8 million, $9 million, $10 million, 12, 13, 14, 15, 50 million. 115, 20, 30, 40, 50.
1 million?
So we got some big thinkers out there. More than 100 million. Is it unlimited? Is that what the number you wrote down? That's right. What was your number? What was your number? $1 billion. What was your number? 44. What was your number? How much? 1 million. What was your number? 1 billion. What was your number? Infinity. Okay, good.
Infinity?
Why? He wanted to win the contest. Infinity. Yeah. There. All right.
It's a Googleplex.
Exactly. In order for you to make fast cash in slow times, these are slow times. But are they slow times everywhere? No. No. Are there things that are so busy right now, right in Chicago, businesses that are busier than they have ever been before? Yes?
Yeah.
Where are they?
Nice.
Where are these businesses? What kind of businesses are they?
Well, wait a second. We went to lunch today. We talked at the Athena with $100 a plate. Place was sold out. Steve was there, and we had, it was totally a packed place. And were there a lot of people making fortunes in that room now?
Now.
I mean, so it depends on who you hang with and where you hang is what we're saying. And what happens is, like I was in Boulder, Colorado with a Guyam, which did $4 billion this year. And they've got, Boulder, Colorado has a 3% unemployment. We're in Salt Lake, they got a negative 1% unemployment. So you've got to be careful reading the newspaper. And one of the things we're going to teach in the
How do you have negative 1%? Does that mean people are actually giving you jobs or taking jobs away?
No, they don't have any street people.
You're on the street. Get up there. We need to give you a job.
I'm just telling you what I read when I was at that convention with you. The point is, it's an exciting time to be alive. We all had to read the same thing in high school. It's the best of times and the worst of times. That depends on your perspective. So we're take blinders on your eyes like this. Everyone take your blinders and throw them away. And don't pick up anybody else who's in the room. Some of you didn't do it. Quick blinders. Throw them away. By the way, we're from California, and we have signs that say leave in California, resume normal behavior.
So you want to make some serious cash in a fairly short period of time. Yes or yes?
Yes.
So you're entrepreneurs, I imagine. Anybody in the room that's not an entrepreneur? Got a few? What are you?
I work for a company.
You work for a company, so you want to work for that company for the rest of your life?
Hell no.
Hell no. Okay, so you have to have you're a future entrepreneur, or you have what we call involuntary entrepreneurship.
When you get
That's
fired,
when you lose your job.
Involuntary
Involuntary
entrepreneur.
entrepreneur. So we have in this room a group of people who want to make some serious money, who are entrepreneurs. What does an entrepreneur do? Takes risk. Is that what an entrepreneur does?
Not necessarily.
What is,
Creates opportunity.
creates value out of what?
Fills a need.
Creates value.
Now, our friend, in the book, we quote our friend Warren Buffett, and Buffett says you either create value or find value. That's the two deals. And then we say you've only got two ways to go. You either, what is it you're passionately purposeful about, or what is your problem? And we say take your problem and turn it into profits. And it's doable. I mean, Gene Nadich lost a lot of weight. Everyone said, how'd you lose weight? She starts little cell groups. The cell groups turn into a franchise. The franchise turns into a book. She becomes a billionaire with Weight Watchers. Right? And weight is one of the big things around.
So you're going to make it either, as an entrepreneur, you're going to solve somebody's problem or your own problem, or you're going to follow up through on your passion. So I want you to write down 3 things that you're passionate about, absolutely passionate about, that you would like to earn the kind of money that you wrote down on that piece of paper just a few minutes ago. What are you so passionate about that if you could make it doing that passionate thing and make that kind of money, that would be really exciting. Write down 3 things that you're passionate about.
As you're writing, I'm going to keep talking for a second. That is, when Bob and I finish the book, we go out to have a celebration lunch. And he says, what are 3 ways that you're going to earn $10 million extra? Everyone say extra?
Extra.
A little louder.
Extra.
This year. And I went, well, remember, here's when I was in graduate school getting my doctorate, I was at SIU. We hired all the guys that got fired at Harvard, Wharton, Yale, and Stanford.
Stale and Yanford?
Anyhow, sorry about that. I started at 5 o'clock this morning on Manco's show, so, my brain's a little less than awake, maybe. Anyhow, so Buckminster Fuller, how many of you know who Fuller was? I mean, he's the guy who finished Einstein's unified field theory, a new mathematics called synergetic energetic. He invented 2,000 inventions, geodesic domes, 15 doctorates at Harvard in cosmology, cosmogony, epistemology. When I heard all that, I thought, oh, hell, I don't know what any of those words mean. Anyhow, so he wowed my soul, but the point is, Bucky taught that you can't ask a question without getting an answer. So if you ask yourself, how am I going to make $1 million or 10 million or 100 million or $1 billion, you're bountiful, beautiful, totally available, all probability, underused brain cells, 18 billion brain cells go beep, 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 until you meet the right person and get the right result right here, right now. Point your temples quick, everyone. Go, that's interesting, Bob.
Interesting.
So you got 3 things that you wrote down that you're passionate about, right?
Yep.
Okay, I want you to write down 3 big problems that you have in your life right now. Your 3 biggest problems.
And be honest, nobody's got to see it except you.
Don't copy off your neighbor now.
Don't write, I don't know, and he doesn't either.
The 3 biggest problems you have in your life right now.
I don't know if I have any problems.
Just 3. Got them down?
You have more than 3 problems.
Okay. More than likely, the money you want to make is in that list of 6 items you just wrote down.
Just real quick, your problems are good. Here in this city, first time I heard it, both of us got to hear W. Clement Stone, who started by selling 10-cent accident health policies, then became a billionaire and started Success Magazine, had Napoleon Hill, the guy who wrote Think, Grow Rich, write it, and then he wrote a book with him, Success System, and then he had Id Mandino run it. But he said, the first time I'm hearing him, I heard him say, problems are good. I thought, are you an imbecile or what? And what problems do are they wake you up. They're the gadfly. And we have the biggest problem economically in history. 29 to 39 was a localized American depression. Now we've got a worldwide one that's hit, because I was just in Europe and I've just come back from Asia. So I promise you it's a bigger problem than ever before. 7 billion people. Yin and yang in Asia. Crisis equals
Opportunity.
Therefore, if you got the biggest, baddest ass crisis in history, we got the biggest, baddest ass opportunity. And because Washington ain't gonna do it, Wall Street ain't gonna do it, who gets to solve it and make all that money? Everyone say, I do.
This guy.
I do.
It's a very exciting time to be alive if you're awake and you're at the right. We're gonna do everything we can to wake you up tonight. Is that okay with you? Say yes.
Yes.
And if it's not, leave. It's real simple.
So the Cash and Flash book talks about the fundamental principle ingredients of the recipe of any kind of success. And if you were going to bake a cake, what would be absolutely essential ingredients that would have to be in every recipe that was ever created for a chocolate cake? What would have to be some of the main ingredients that would always be in the recipe?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Okay, good. Duh. What's another one?
Butter.
Flour would... No, there's some flourless cakes, so that wouldn't work.
Water.
Egg.
Water more than likely, eggs more than likely, but could, might not,
Could
could.
be episode.
You get what I'm saying? There are going to be some ingredients that are absolutely essential and some that are not. Okay, here's what most people do. An oven, yeah, you need to have something to cook it in. Very good.
Vanilla.
So when it comes to financial success, in fact, any kind of success, you know, Mark and I boiled it down to the